I'm Justin Petrosino, agronomist with Stewart Seeds, and today I'm out standing in my field in Darke County, Ohio. Like many counties in Ohio and Indiana, Darke County is under severe drought stress. We've had rainfall here in season totaling in the single digits, and we've just now started to receive some late season rains. The impact this has had on the crops, we're looking at shorter plants, we're looking at small, poorly pollinated ears, and we've done some yield checks today. We've seen anywhere from 0 bushel to the acre on some of the drier parts, some of the hilltops, all the way up to about 120 bushel per acre. So one thing we're seeing on top of poor yields this year is poor seed quality. We've got a lot of cracked and damaged kernels, and with these hot, dry conditions, we've seen the proliferation of Aspergillus ear mold and Fusarium ear mold. Aspergillus is probably the more alarming of the two. It'll be olive green to yellow green in appearance, and as we're looking at it, it tends to form on the tips of the ear where we've got cracked kernels or damaged kernels, and it'll spread from there. The alarming thing about Aspergillus, it produces a toxin called aflatoxin, and aflatoxin is a mycotoxin that's produced naturally by the Aspergillus. Aspergillus tends to grow best around 32% moisture. So as we're getting close to dry down and black layer, we're going to start to see more Aspergillus grow. The problem with Aspergillus is when it's producing the aflatoxin, it will produce it anywhere in its growth range, but typically it produces the most aflatoxin between 18 and 20% moisture. So when we're out in the field, when we're scouting, we want to be looking for this Aspergillus, and we want to make sure that we know how much is in the field and where it's at. The only way to combat Aspergillus is to harvest early and to get that grain dried down to 15% moisture. If we go out and harvest as we normally would, we let that corn dry down in the field to about 20 to 18% moisture, and then we put it in the bin and blow air across it just to try to dry it down a little bit. We're going to be keeping that Aspergillus in the range of grain moisture that it really likes to produce that aflatoxin. So we're just going to be making things worse. The key with Aspergillus, if you do identify it out in the field, contact your insurance provider, let them know about it. They have to test it before it goes into the bin. And then you need to get that field harvested as quickly as possible and get it dried down to 15% moisture. Drying down to 15% moisture will stop any more Aspergillus from growing, and it will stop any more aflatoxin from being produced.